And this is our next step session. Now, just to be clear, if it is that anybody wasn't able to attend any of the sessions that we had this week, and just so you know, we had the CGH Hackathon 101, which basically went through everything in relation to the actual hackathon, as in the topics, the modalities, that's the different types of technology that we're going to ask you to use in order to come up with both your creative idea, which will then become a creative solution. We did sensitization around the topics of climate change and environmental sustainability, gender-based violence and intimate partner violence, and Save Our Oceans, the blue economy. And we also did a rerun of Hackathon 101, and this is going to be the next step session that we're coming up with. Now, if anybody didn't catch any of those sessions that I just said, Kev, you have the screenshot of the notice board. We have a notice board, and I mean, in keeping with the name, that's where you're going to go to find all of the recordings of all the sessions that we had. So you can go back with your team members, watch all the sessions again. Kev is putting it up now on the screen. Take a screenshot of it. This is what it looks like. Everything is there. See all of the YouTube videos for the sessions that we had this week. You can get everything there. And I'm going to tell you more about just how much of a treasure chest the notice board is, because that basically is where you're going to go to get everything that you need and to communicate directly with us. I think there's one thing that we just added to the notice board, and I'll talk through that once we get to the end of the presentation. So let me share my screen now, okay? Oh, Kev, can you enable me to share my screen?
Go ahead.
Thank you. All right. Okay, so as you all know, this year we're going to have a techno creativity hackathon. And let me just say again that what that means is that you're going to lead with your creativity and use the technology to support bringing your technology to life. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. You're going to lead with your creativity, and you can use a number of different ways to communicate what your creative concept is going to be, what your solution is going to be. And those include through animation story, docudrama, music video, vlogging. What else do we have? I think that's it. Animation story, music, photo storyboarding, right? And you'll use those creative avenues to actually bring your creative idea to life. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, then it just means that you have to go and rerun Hackathon 101, because that will tell you everything. So, all right, so what are the next steps? All right, so we've given you a lot of information this week. As I said, we've gone through a lot of sensitization around the topics, and we've given you a lot of information as it relates to what the hackathon is all about, how you form your teams and so on. Some people are here who don't yet have a team, but they have their girls, their friends, their peeps, their schoolmates in mind who they want to have on their team. Okay. Now, before we go any further, Raj.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi. I just want you to reiterate for me to the girls who it is that will not be required to form their own team and to register themselves.
Okay, sure. We have quite a number of participants that are coming in from groups, organizations. So for example, in Trinidad and Tobago, you have Brasso Seco, Cashew Gardens, Colifit Convent, the different convents. and you all are already part of a system and organization that's entering the competition, and your team from the organization has been selected by the organization and yourself. That also holds true for the students from St. Vincent and Grenada. Now, not all the students, because some of you all would have responded because of social media marketing and you're not part of these organizations. So if you're from one of these organizations, like let's say Cashew Gardens or Belize or one of these teams, your team registration is going to be sent in by your team lead from the school or the community group or whatever, and that will have all of your registration details. So you don't have to worry too much about, registration process is going to come from the registration from these groups. We will communicate with you if you're not coming in from a group. So, you could either be placed in a team or we could follow up like that. So it's pretty
Yeah.
straightforward from these teams. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so everybody heard that. There are some girls who are on this in this session who are coming in through community groups, school groups, and religious groups. You know yourselves. So when we talk about ensure that you register for the hackathon, your registration is already taken care of. You already are in a team. So these instructions don't apply to you. These instructions apply to other girls who on their own initiative want to participate in the hackathon and are self-forming their teams with them amongst themselves. Okay, they're not coming in under the umbrella of a community group, a school group, or a religious group, or any other group. And you guys who are here as a result of having engaged with your groups know who you are. Okay, but your group leader is already in touch with us, and we're working with your group leader to register you as individuals and also to register your team, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, so I'm talking now to the girls who saw us on social media, girls from Jamaica, girls who may have participated before in Tech for Girls, some girls who applied for our ambassador program. You guys, you need now to form your team of 3 to 5 girls. Okay, if it is that you don't yet have a team, that's fine. We are going to see that you indicated in your registration that you want to be placed in a team, and we're going to get back to you about the team that you have been assigned to. So don't worry about it, right? If you have your 3 to 5 girls who you want on your team already, make sure that everyone registers for the hackathon. And do you see this here? This is the link. Take a screenshot of it and make sure every member of the team registers for the hackathon. Okay. If your team member is not registered for the hackathon, then your team will not be able to include that team member. Not that we're going to disqualify the entire team, but you just are going to be one girl short. So make sure that every member of your team registers, okay? And that's very important because we need parental consents, we need a lot of information, and that happens when you register. All right, so again, it's not applicable to girls who are joining via community groups, school groups, or religious groups. Your group leader will register you for both the hackathon and also for your teams. That clear? If anything isn't clear, please put it in the chat. We're monitoring the chat and we're going to answer all your questions at the end, okay? All right. Now, when you're registering your teams, you'll use the team registration link and you're going to get that link at the end of the presentation and you can screenshot it. And I think Kevin is also putting it up in the chat, the team registration link. So once you have everybody registered using the registration link, then you're going to go in and give us the names of your team members and all the other information in the registration link. It's very easy because we would have got all of your information already when you registered, but this is now more pertaining to the members of your team. Okay. Once again, not applicable to girls who are joining via community groups, school groups, or religious groups. Your group leader will register you.
Okay.
Hello. Okay, great. All right, what's next? Okay, so you've been hearing us talk about the CGH notice board. I'm going to ask Kevin is our RSC tech support, and I'm going to ask you, Kev, if you can just introduce the girls to the notice board using this section here.
Yeah, great. So uh, I've been posting a link to the notice board all week, if you all haven't noticed. Take that link and bookmark that link if you can on your browser. It has all the information that you'll need to get you through the hackathon. So we'll be setting information. So information like next session, when the next session will be, when the next like
Yes, Kev,
webinar like this
sorry,
will,
Kev,
yeah.
you are a little soft. You need to speak to us a little bit louder.
Kevin, so yeah.
I know.
Okay.
What's
Yeah.
that?
So we'll have information in next session. We'll also have the links, the registration link, team selection links. Stuff will always be there. Plus, we'll have a calendar of events, so you'll know what's coming up next. And important dates will also be there, right? We'll also have the replays of all the sessions, things like that, that if you want to go back, you could go back and play those sessions as many times as you want. If you miss something, somebody in your team wants to just get some more information, right? Other really important things, we'll put up all the presentations from the speakers. So you have those slides for yourself. If you want to dissect, cut up however which way you want to have a look at them. And then we're going to put some nice links for you, which are related to the topics that Bridget had spoken about earlier, which would be like the videos, blogging, tools that will help you to get some of the information you need, or just to give you a kickstart. And finally, we have we have a link that will get you in touch if you need to get in touch with Caribbean Girls Hack. There's a link that'll take you to a Google form. So any questions or comments you have, send it there. I will actually post it in the chat in a little bit as well, so you could have it. If you're not getting in contact with us through email, or if you're not getting our emails as well, I mean, Find the Notice Board is going to give you everything that you need. And then lastly, all of the information with respect to social media is there as well for RSC and for Caribbean Girls Hack. So if you need anything, if you want to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that is there as well. Yeah, Nicole, anything, Bridget, anything else we forgot?
Nope, that's it. Basically, check your notice board every day because new things are going to be posted there on a regular basis. So Kev, what I think would be great is if at the end of the presentation, maybe we just go into the notice board and give everybody a little bit of a run through, as well as open up the new link as it relates to where do you post your questions so people can become familiar with what we have there. Yeah. So we're going to go through the notice board, actually show you what we have there already so you can become very familiar. I know Kev shared it at the front end, but we're also going to do it at the end of the presentation. And we'll also show you what the Google link for posting your questions to us looks like. We'll open that up and share screen so you can see that. All right, so this is what a short introduction, which Kevin just did to the notice board. Every link is going to be there. So the team registration link will be posted on the notice board. The Hackathon 101 guidelines and the next step guidelines will be posted on the notice board. So this presentation, as well as the Hackathon 101, will be posted on the notice board as well. And we will have a toolkit, which will be a very handy kit for you to be able to access more information on the various, what should we call them? We call them tech modalities, but you may say, tech apps, tech tools that you're going to be using to bring your ideas to life. And this is primarily in the second round, when you move from just having a creative idea to a creative solution. Okay, so the toolkit is going to be up by Monday, February 15th, and we'll keep adding interesting links for you guys to check out as to, you know, how you take an animation, how do you create an animation story? How do you move from idea to an actual product, what we call a prototype? Okay. How do you create a music video? You know, there's steps to all of these things. A short docudrama, there's steps to how do you do that? You first have to have your story, then you have to figure out who your characters are, then you're going to have to get people to act and tape them, videotape them, all of that. Same thing for photo storyboarding. You have to develop your story. Your story. We're not going to stop saying that word. A lot of this is going to be dependent on your story. What is your story that you want to tell? And how is this story going to present a viable solution for anyone who may be interested in the topic that you've chosen, whether it's climate change and sustainability, gender-based violence and intimate partner violence, or Save Our Oceans, the blue economy. Your story must be all about the solution that you want to offer as it relates to these various topics that we're exploring. All right, we have some upcoming sessions. So the time, as usual, is 6 p.m. EST, Jamaica and Haiti, and 7 p.m. AST and Eastern Caribbean. And on the 16th, which is on Tuesday, we're going to do a session on how to build your creative story. So this is going to be really, really instructive, guys. I can't tell you how important it's going to be. We're going to actually show you some real life examples of what persons who have pitched their creative story concept, which is what round one is all about, how they've done it and what they've included. So it will help you to know what are some of the things that we're going to be looking for, right? Remember, we're going to have about 100 teams. We're hoping to have close to 100 teams, and only 30 teams are moving forward. So you know that your creative story, right, building that first story that you're going to be telling, right, in round one, how good that's going to have to be in order for you to be one of the top 30 solutions. And then the next session is going to be all about ideation and design thinking. So it will give you an idea of how you go about ideating around a topic, right? And thinking through your design. Like, how are you going to design your solution? And we're going to have some special guests on to help you through that as well. All right. So register now if you haven't yet registered using this link, and check out our notice board if you haven't yet done so using this link. Okay. This is the end of the presentation.